Hello, I'm Soycat, and because Minecraft is tied into the Xbox Live system, every single major update for the Bedrock version of the game brings with it brand new achievements for everyone to collect on every single Minecraft Bedrock platform. The latest update actually brought the number over 100, which means there's 103 achievements you can get. And although some of these are fairly hard to do, especially ones involving enchanted golden apples, especially killing the wither for example, some of these things can be somewhat tricky to do. They're all reasonably easy to do within a couple of hours if you set your mind to it. This is why you can see I've unlocked every single achievement in Minecraft at some point, with the exception of these two right here. Plethora of Cats is one that I just haven't gone round to because I don't really need cats in my Minecraft world. And then there's Master Trader, the hardest achievement that Minecraft has added yet, as evidenced by the fact that 0.02% of players have unlocked that. That means that only 1 in 5,000 players has actually traded 1,000 emeralds, and the reason for that is because that takes some serious time. Even if you get a good village farm going, that's going to take a lot of different trades to get going, and I figured in today's video, why not give you a guide on how to get these last two achievements to get me to that golden achievement, to get me to that entirely completed Minecraft. So first of all, Plethora of Cats. It's fairly simple, you just got to find a lot of fish, and you know, I've gone fishing a lot, so I grabbed myself a stack of raw cod. And then you've got to find a village, and with every single village, you get some naturally generated cats. Tame the cats like so. You can either do it the friendly way by crouching until they, become friends of you, or you can chase after them. It works exactly the same. As long as they take the fish in the end, they become a tamed cat. Do this 17 or 18 more times, and then you got the achievement. Even old villagers should work for this too, by the way. As long as it counts as a village in the game code, then you should be able to find some baby kittens like this. 55 minutes and 19 cats later, I think you'll find that we've just unlocked the rare achievement, Plethora of Cats. But again, all that takes is just under an hour of dedicated effort. You could do it in less if you get lucky. Might take a bit more if you don't have any of the resources to begin with. But today we're not talking about, Plethora of Cats, a fun but quirky but easy enough to get achievement. We're talking about the hardest achievement in Minecraft. That's right, Master Trader, I'm coming for the hardest, rarest achievement in Minecraft, and we're going to take you along for the journey, so if you want to do it yourself, if you want to get 103 out of 102 achievements, you'll know exactly how to do it. Also, because we're playing on Xbox One, we can actually turn on Achievement Tracker, so you can see on screen precisely what our progress is at any point in time, and you can see I've already traded about 20 emeralds to get 2% of the way there, but that means I still have to trade 980 emeralds, so how exactly am I going to do it? And there are two very popular schools of thought when it comes to trading with villagers and getting emeralds from them. One is to just find villagers, see what they're asking for. This guy wants some rabbits, for example. And yeah, that means we just have to find a bunch of rabbits, and then we could go to the next villager, find a bunch of whatever he's asking for. Let's check this guy out. He's going to ask me for a bunch of coal. So we find coal, we find rabbits, and we just find everything that the villagers want over and over and over again in a brand new village. And this is an easy enough way to do things if you want to do a varied experience, but it's not very fast. The faster way would be, of course, to level up some villagers to level 5 until they get the highest end level trades, stuff like stone, and then much further down the tree we can get better trades, and that way we can do more efficient stuff and just stick to one task. I want to find a balance between both of these methods. So I have this villager farm over here. It's from my Simulating Italy in the early half of the 20th century video, where basically I've got a walled-in village. Everyone here, follows my rule. They all do what I tell them to do, which in this case is being a toolsmith. I've made everyone in this village a toolsmith because some of those trades are some of the best ones to pull off, especially on the buying end. Because for instance, if you want to buy yourself, let's pick an example. If you want to buy yourself a really nice diamond pickaxe with enchantments on, you're going to need this guy right here. It's also kind of advantageous to trade flint or iron for emeralds, for example. And yeah, basically a lot of people might take the very high-end villagers and do this, but my goal is to do a little bit of both at the same time. I want to make some high-end trades, trading my flint for gravel, trading my flint for emeralds, because that's an excellent deal that gets rid of something I otherwise can't really use anyway. But then I also want to use some of the lower level trades from villagers like the farmer, because if you don't know, the trades actually have a maximum you can do before the villager will just say, sorry, I can't trade anymore. I ran out of that stuff I can do, until they go to their skilling bench. In this guy's case, it's the the composter. Is it called the composter? It's this thing right here is what he goes to, and then when he goes there for long enough, you'll see some sparkles above his head, and then eventually he'll be able to trade with you again. And after he's used his skill bench, he'll be able to trade with you to get some more stuff. In this case, he's going to mark up the rate, but honestly, carrots are so worthless that I'm not really upset about that. And then after we traded out that supply of, carrots, we do the same, where he has to go to the bench over and over and over again. And basically, it means you can only trade the same thing with the same villager so many times in a row, which is a problem if you need to get 1,000 emeralds. Because I've got 5 emeralds now, but I need a lot more than 5. I need 980, or we'll keep things simple and just say 1,000. Because there are two types of villagers in Minecraft that, in my opinion, offer really good, easy trades if you want to farm emeralds. There are the fishermen who will buy string off you, something which is easily enough to farm, and you know, the latest trades are also pretty good if, like me, you happen to have a lot of fish because you went fishing for many hours in a row trying to find mending. And then you've also got various different farmers who will you know, trade for you with carrots and beetroot and other things that are very easy to get. I'd also say that cartographers are on the same level. We don't have any of those yet, which is why I'm going to teach you how to make more farmers, make more cartographers, and make more of the villagers that you're going to need for this sort of thing. First though, I'm going to gather all of the resources that I need, such as all of this raw cod, which in case you're curious as to why I have so much, again, I literally needed to get 1 enchantment, which was a 1 in several thousand chance of me actually fishing, so I fished a lot of different fish, and the most common fish happens to be cod, so I can fill up an entire inventory of that to trade for villagers. For most people though, you're not going to have a huge amount of cod lying around, but something that's very easy to get farming, even if you have to do it specifically for this achievement, is something like a sugarcane farm. Sugarcane is pretty much the easiest thing to farm in Minecraft, and although you can take things way too far, maybe have a sugarcane farm that goes all the way to sky height and provides more sugarcane than one person can ever reasonably harvest, even having a fairly small sugarcane farm can provide you with a serious amount of paper, because every sugarcane equals 1 paper, and when you have, or every 3 sugarcane is 3 paper, which means the same thing, but it means that basically having a small amount of sugarcane can provide a lot more sugarcane, which can eventually provide a huge amount of paper for a farm. I'm also quite lucky in that I set up a string farm a long time ago to kill spiders automatically. If you've never seen a string farm, by the way, I think it's one of the cooler, like, you know, things you can do with magma fairly easily. But all you have to do is make it so that spiders spawn by default somewhere onto some string, and boom, look at this. They spawn, they go on, spawn into magma, then they turn into string, and isn't that wonderful? You can even kill them yourself if you want to get the experience. But yeah, basically I have a string farm, which means that on top of getting all of these other things easy, I can also get some easy string. But there are 3 things that literally anyone can farm, even if not on this scale, because it comes with every single village. You're going to find a huge number of carrots in that village, you're going to find a decent amount of wheat, and you can trade these things for free if you don't want to set up the fancy farms. If you want to go straight for this achievement first, which again, I recommend going after it after you've got a decent late game survival, but if for some reason you're starting again from scratch, but you want to get this achievement before any other, then yeah, you can farm at the villages. I recommend using fortune if you're going to farm, if you happen to have it lying around, because every, you know, like every single plant we get, instead of giving us 2 to 3 carrots, or sometimes 4, you're going to get like 6 or 7 carrots. By the way, I feel like because I'm going to have a shulker box just for my carrots anyway, why not make an orange dye, which I think the only way to make is with red and green, red and yellow, sorry. But yeah, take one of these and then make it an orange shulker box so we can have literally a shulker box dedicated for carrots. I think that's a genius idea, so I'm going to do that now. Honestly, one of the things I like about this particular achievement, being the hardest one or the rarest one or whatever, is the fact that it kind of does require a lot of the other aspects of Minecraft. You need to have a lot invested into one Minecraft world, which is something that not necessarily everyone does, but it encourages you to do that and gives you a solid reward for doing so. You know, villages in Minecraft, the reason the village and pillage update is so great is because it's every part of Minecraft kind of combined and improved in some way. If you want a better way to get diamond chest plates, you can technically do that through villages. Want a better way to get potion arrows? All these sorts of things can technically be made easier through villages, and the fact that there's a trading achievement to reward you for getting the emeralds you need to do that, I think it makes sense. I think it's a great thing. Okay, so I'm back here in the village, and although this part of the video could be made as simple as like, oh yeah, what you want to do is trade the carrots with the carrot villager, trade the raw cod with the cod villager, etc, etc, etc. The truth is, for things like paper, I don't have a paper selling villager yet. So what do I do about that? Well, you can actually make some as long as you have nitwits in the village, i.e. villagers without any trades under their belt. In this case, I have a lot of blacksmith tables, but I still do have some nitwits lying around. And as long as you have some people like this, you're going to need to make them some skilling tables. This varies depending on your skill, but basically you want to give them a skilling table that they can do their magic at and that they can, turn into stuff. So yeah, we'll just place these down here in the center of town, and then eventually some of the dudes will, decide it's their skilling table. See, this is a blacksmith, but it's blacksmithing table, etc, etc, etc. And because we want some cartographers, we'll put these over here. Anyway, the basic goal here is we need to spend a lot of time, but we're going to spend that time productively. But, given that we've got some time, that we're trying to get some librarians converted, as well as fishermen, perhaps. If you're curious about fishermen, you use barrels to get some of those. So while we're converting villagers, I do also want to get my carrots, maxed out as well. I have 1 villager selling carrots right now, and that's enough for me to get some stuff done. And in the meantime, we can find some villagers like this guy, and we can convert them to fishermen, so they'll buy our string off us, and we can do that one there too. Just like this, 20 string becomes an emerald, which means we can turn a single stack into just over 3 emeralds, and eventually he's gonna, be whacked out for the day. but we should be able to convert more villagers, make more fishermen, make more farmers, make all of the types of villagers we want to make. If you want to speed up this process even more and you have some excess villagers that you don't really need in their existing roles, there's a bunch of toolsmiths around here, for example, that I've never traded with. An easy thing to do is to remove their existing skilling table, because once you remove their existing table, they'll eventually be deconverted from their role. A toolsmith can't be a toolsmith if they don't have a table to work at, for example, and yeah, this is our kind of plan here. And we've converted our first librarian over, or I mean cartographer is the term, first person who will buy paper from us, which to me is an infinite resource, but to them is apparently valuable enough to give me a whole emerald for. And yeah, we can pull this exact same process with every villager of every villager type. By the way, that dude right there literally turned into a librarian on the spot as I removed his existing bench. And yeah, you're going to see this effect across the entire village. Something that is worth bearing in mind is every single villager will start raising their prices if you keep buying the same thing from them without buying other things. This is basically a way to, you know, a game mechanic that stops you from trading the exact same thing over and over like we intend to do, but there is a way around it, or I think it's an intended way around it, but it's basically a way to force you to eventually, whenever that eventually time does come, to get more villagers, because 31 might go up to 37, which can go up to absurd numbers eventually. You know, once the guys have restocked their things, eventually their numbers get higher, and because of that, it means you basically need to make more villagers. But wait a minute, make more villagers? That's not a thing you can do. Except, as you'll know, that's very much a thing you can do, because trading, you know, 33 carrots for the emerald, it's going to go up even more in a second. Trading that sort of thing doesn't sound so great, so what do you do instead? Except that, as you'll know if you watched my, you know, recreating Italy in the early half of the 20th century video, then, you know, my video about villagers, then you'll know that I'm going to do exactly that right now, because all you need to increase the villager population, as long as all the other conditions are met, you just need beds, basically. Beds equals villagers. Every, you know, bed means another villager, because villagers need beds, but once you have beds, you get villagers. Very easy, one-dimensional relationship. If you want to explain it again, though, beds equals villagers, villagers equals beds. Wow, so easy, right? And yeah, basically, we have more beds, so now villagers are going to start breeding and creating more villagers. Admittedly, these aren't the best conditions for a villager to be sleeping in, just like randomly in a big field in the middle of nowhere, but you know what, it does the job of making sparkles, which makes villagers. Also, the bigger the village, the more cats you get, so I guess really it would have made sense to do that second achievement now rather than earlier. But you know, let's stay focused rather than dwell on that. So as well as running into the constraint that pretty much every single villager is going to start raising their prices on you, another, you know, constraint of this that will make it harder to consider, you know, keep on trading the same stuff over and over again is the fact that, you know, it becomes available in fewer and fewer quantities. So if you want to get the most from each individual villager, it can be worthwhile to start working on their second trade. If you have a lot of raw cod, like I just so happen to, then you can do the level 2 fisher trades, which is really handy because this also gives you more experience. This is how much XP, you know, as you can see, 20 stringers worth. This is how much XP that 15 fish is worth. So as you can see, I get more experience as well, which will be worth more, you know, when we get to the later levels and we get great things in return. If I want, also, I can trade an emerald and 6 of my cod to get 6 cooked cod. I mean, I could do this just to get the experience, just have a guy on the next level, because I think I'm out of string anyway. So yeah, sometimes it might be worth making a bad trade like that, you know, worst trade deal in the history of trade deals, just so you can get to the next tier and get the trades that you really want, because 15 cod for an emerald is pretty great when you have this much cod. Oh, something important to note while I'm doing all of this is if you are doing all of this for level 5 trades, which if you don't know, every villager has some really good level 5 trade for you. You know, in the case of the toolsmith, it's the enchanted pickaxes. But if you're doing this to get those certain things, then it's worth mentioning that you should do that as you go along, because these can usually only be done once at a time. And if you're waiting for the cooldown of the other villagers anyway, might as well wait for the cooldown of this guy. Oh, and also something, it's kind of sad to me because to me, the wording of the achievement indicates that that should count towards the thing, right? Like, oh yeah, I traded for emeralds with him, but no, you have to get the emeralds yourself. If you trade your emeralds away, it doesn't count towards it. So you can't just trade 500 emeralds from villagers, then give them 500 emeralds worth of stuff. No, you have to get 1,000 emeralds from these crude, you know, terrible deals for one thing. So yeah, keep that in mind. Another great use for fortune, by the way, is taking a stack of gravel, which, again, mostly one of the most worthless blocks in the game. There's a couple of uses you might find for it sometimes if you need a lot of concrete powder, or whatever the case may be. Sure, I get that. But you can also use this to turn an entire stack of gravel into an entire stack of flint, which you can then trade for emeralds. So if you're just waiting anyway and you want to, you know, spend some time doing something that feels productive, and you better believe that getting rid of gravel in all its forms is always productive in my opinion, here's a way to do that. And in case you don't want to use a fortune shovel because it's got some real value, you feel like that's maybe silly, I think you can just do over and over again if you want. Like, again, if you've got time that you're just burning, waiting in the village anyway, a thing you can choose to do is destroy it naturally, or manually like this rather, and then you usually end up with some flint, but I guess on Bedrock that's not true. So there's a lot of downtime between when villagers refresh their trades, because, you know, there's just logically, it takes a few seconds to sell your carrots for 50 to 1, by the way, is what we've gotten to now. And one of the, you know, cool benefits of this that kind of counteracts that is you get a lot of experience while doing this. You can do whatever else you want, listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, while you slowly rack up those emeralds, as you can see I'm doing in the bottom right. Sometimes you can get the right villager who will even sell you like clownfish at 1 to 1. That's a seriously good deal, given the number of clownfish that I assume I have. So yeah, in between it all, we're getting some XP to make it all better. And just so I'm not being too wasteful, one of the things I'm also trying to do is every time I get to level 30, I'm going to go off and enchant, because again, if I spend 10 hours in a row at this village, it might drive me crazy. If I get some other stuff done in the meantime, and if I go and try and collect items, like for instance, the cartographers all want glass panes, I can collect that at the same time so that we can get some more trades moving, so we can keep the speed of this up, rather than just trading more and more paper for the same number of emeralds. Yeah, honestly, glass panes are really easy to come by because every, 6 glass makes 6 stone of them. So this is effectively trading you free sand or, free processed sand in exchange for an emerald. So, it's pretty, intuitive. It's pretty easy to think about. But the further down you go down the tree, the often better the deals can get. It's just the more niche items they require. But if you have a lot of niche items, you can save a lot of time here. If you don't have niche items, better sit down and wait some more and do some more farming, I guess. So even though I've seen and I've looked at the graph that shows all of the different trades you can get from various villagers, one of the things I wasn't quite expecting or prepared for was what the fisherman level 4 trade is, because level 5 trade is, sorry, because trading, clownfish 1 to 1, that's a pretty good deal if we need emeralds, like we definitely do. But level 5 is pufferfish 1 to 1, like he doesn't offer me anything past this unbreaking 1 fishing rod, and that just seems kind of sad. Like I was going to get some amazing fishing rod, but I guess I don't need one, because when you get mending, you don't need it. It's a weird thing is what I'm saying here. And yeah, pro tip, fisherman, not worth trading if you want good stuff. Only worth trading if you literally want to trade your fish into emeralds. Another fun thing you probably know, but might not, is the fact that this tag right here actually represents what, level of proficiency the villager has. Once they go to level 3, it goes gold. Once they go to level 5 and they're a real big deal for villager, it goes diamond. And again, oh wait, I lost the diamond guy. Hey, I just maxed out the fisherman. We have a diamond level fisher now. How useful is that? Honestly, not very, but we have one. And that's nice. But yeah, one of the cool things about doing this achievement is you do kind of get progression, a sense of pride and accomplishment as you're going along it. Because there really is this kind of feeling that you're getting further and further along. You're unlocking new things, new trades that are different and varied each time. Like, although they start pretty similar, they start to diverge, sorry, is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it's kind of cool in my opinion. Like, this guy starts offering blue banners for some reason, but also locator maps, and at level 5, he's going to offer me a map to a brand new woodland mansion, I assume? Okay, I think we might have found peak Minecraft trade, 4 watermelon slices, which is less than like 1 watermelon basically, for 1 emerald. Even if this goes up to like 10, that's still a seriously good deal, and if you have fortune, it's even more. Like, just for comparison here, 4 watermelon for 1 emerald, or if we go to the exact same level trade, but on the, in fact, a higher level trade over here in our little workbench area. Wait a minute, the dude has escaped, but yeah, if we go to this guy right here, he gives us 1 diamond for 1 emerald. So that means that in the villager column, 4 of these melons is worth 1 diamond. Imagine if that was actually possible in real life. But yeah, never make a trade like this one unless it's literally for experience reasons, because, the better thing to do is to use melons. Which, as best I can tell, this is the best trade anywhere on any tree I've seen so far. Okay, so I spent an hour being lazy for 10 minutes and then doing a bit of trading every other minute, then going back, so on and so forth, doing a cycle like that. And obviously, in that time, honestly, going for the carrots, etc. has been great, but every single time I trade melons is when the emeralds start rolling in. When that experience bar at the bottom right of the screen starts barreling up. And yeah, I guess, honestly, the takeaway from all of this video is there's lots of ways you can get lots of emeralds, but if you want to go for 1,000, the one that's most efficient, even if you have no melons right now, you have to start a farm from scratch, which I've done over here just so I can, like, farm the melons and the pumpkins at the same time. By the way, these villagers literally are throwing potatoes at each other. I've never seen them do that. Are they trading, or is this guy just being like, you are superior farmer, you are level 5, and therefore you're able to sell golden carrots? Like, By the way, that's the thing they can do. I think this is a really good trade, but I think 3 emeralds is just such a bad price. If it was 1 emerald, I'd be like, heck yeah, this is the best food in the game. It might be worth doing, but at this stage, it's just a really bad value proposition when you can get for the same level, stuff like, rare potion arrows, or you can get a diamond pickaxe for 13 or a diamond shovel for 5. Golden carrots, which you consume, even if they're the best food, it just isn't going to be worthwhile. So I think I'm going to store up my emeralds, like I've been doing right over here, as you can see. I think I'm going to store up my emeralds and maybe make like an emerald beacon, because it'd show my mastery off the villages, right? So my plan to keep things going when trades get expensive, especially for things like sugarcane, which, even though it's quite cheap to make, it does take a little bit of time. My plan is just to make a whole brand new village where, as you can see, I've got a lot of cartography tables. So pretty much everyone in this village has to be a cartographer. So we've got a room full of them right here. And the plan is to keep trading with them, except get this, I have a raid here because, I have a lot of raids at all times because just once every few hours, like, I don't know, 10 to 12 hours, you find a pillager raid just in the wild. And, you might as well kill it, might as well get that small bonus. So I'm going to use this bonus to my advantage, and I'm going to kill the last of the pillager raid, and then we're going to trade some paper with the villagers. Just like that, we're now the hero of the village. Again, key thing to know, if you don't already know this, it's a really useful little tip. But if you kill a pillager raid while it's in the village, you become the hero of the village, and everyone loves you, and they give you discounted rates. There we go, discounted rates, and that means we get more emeralds for our paper, which isn't really the issue, but it's a nice little bonus anyway, right? Oh, another really interesting trade I learned about is that the Fletcher base level trade is just for sticks. Sticks are really easy to get if you have a lot of wood. I don't think it's necessarily the best value, but because I want to get a Fletcher maxed out while I'm here anyway, and I do have some fletching tables I set up just for the fun of it, let's get some sticks made and let's see what's at the top of their levels. Because if you're doing something like this, it's going to be time consuming no matter which path you choose, so why not pick a path which allows you to, see some parts of the game in person that you haven't seen, which is what I'm choosing to do today. Also, they are all working right now. That's how I like to see it. Before I go to enchant another time, I think we've gone over the halfway point now. I think it's taken us just under 6 hours, but we've officially hit 58%. Yeah, 580 something emeralds traded. Once you've gone halfway, then I guess it's the point of no return. We got to keep on going forwards now. I thought this would honestly be a thing that would take 2 hours, but I guess I was wrong for thinking that. Okay, so 1 stack of glass makes a lot of stacks of or glass panes, and 1 glass pane gets you 1/8 of an emerald. So you better believe I'm making a big profit from this room full of cartographers. So just in this 1 session of trading glass with the villagers, I've ended up going from 58% complete to, it looks like, 66. Oh man. 60 emeralds in literally a 5-minute span. See, if I could do that for the entire thing, I would have been done in like under 2 hours. Okay, I'm getting really close on this one now, and I've even got so many emeralds just from all of the sheer amount of trading that I can make 65 blocks of it, apparently. So I'm actually going to do that because, again, I want to at least coat a beacon in emerald. I think using beacons as any, non-visible block is kind of wasteful if you're going to do it that way, because emeralds are just hard to come by. Like, there's a lot of steps required, there's trading, there's this, there's that. So I'm going to use them to coat a beacon and show my Minecraft wealth, because, we always need opportunities to show we're Minecraft baller, and apparently these emerald blocks are a great way to do that. Also, fun little thing here, but you can see the emerald block as of its new texture. I actually, at first I really hated it, but I really like it. There's a really nice kind of shine to it that like draws attention. It looks special, and I think it should, given the effort required there. Also, I started recording this video at 4 PM. It's now 11:30, and we're still like 80-ish% done. Okay, so to get the rest of this achievement done, because I pretty much ran out of melons, even going around the rest of my world, I found 46, unless there's a big stash I'm missing. So I'm out of melons, which was my favorite trade, so instead I'll just do a lot of my second favorite trade, because I can do it very quickly. I have a lot of cartographers all locked in a room, all forced to trade with me over and over and over again, which means I got all, a huge amount of paper, and I got a huge amount of glass, and also, just for good measure, there's a Fletcher in here, so I got some sticks too, and yeah, we're gonna make this happen. And man, you can make so many sticks from just a single stack of, like wood, which is great when you have one of these guys around. So yeah, for the rest of the video, my genuine plan is just to sit in this room, skill up the cartographers, wait till they can reskill, and then do it all over again. Yeah, in just a few minutes, we went from 80-something% to 92%, so I think we've got this one in the bag. Okay, so I'm genuinely not sure what went wrong here, but it seems as though it's been about 10 minutes and none of the trades have properly refreshed, so maybe they're mad at being locked in a room for so long, or maybe maybe some things afoot here, but rather than working that out, you know, we're 98% complete. We don't have to worry about that. Instead, we can just find a different village. So I'm just going to grab as many melons as I can because it's the best trade I can make, and if I'm going to wait around anyway, might as well make it the best trade in the game. And yeah, we're going to grab all the melons anywhere we can find, anywhere in the world at all. And we're just going to trade these to get us over the milestone. Okay, so before we go any further, that bar right there is on 99% right now, but it doesn't look like 99%, right? That last 1% seems like it's bigger than the rest of the bar. Am I crazy, or is that true? Either way, though, let's do the honors. Let's make this happen. I don't know when it's going to pop up, but let's just let's go well over the number we need. Let's make this happen. Let's make our last trade to get ourselves over the line, to get ourselves into the mystical Thousandaire Club when it comes to Minecraft Emeralds. A journey I thought would be pretty fast 9.5 hours ago has actually kind of evolved into a little bit of an adventure because 1,000 emeralds is now a serious amount. I've learned a lot of the ups and downs about things that seem good but are actually kind of tricky in process. I've learned things that seem good and are amazing in practice, such as the melons. Things that are kind of the opposite of both those things, such as I don't think I'd sell glass panes again. I just happen to have a bunch of them lying around. This is where the achievement's meant to come up on screen and interrupt me, but it hasn't done so far. It's possible I very slightly went under the mark. Okay, so my last trade will be my most regrettable. Oh no, it was that one. That last trade there, we did it. Master Trader, 0.02% of people have done this. Trade for 1,000 emeralds in Minecraft. That is 1 in 50,000 people that have ever done this particular achievement. And look at that, now the achievement tracker just says, nice work. You've unlocked all the achievements in this game. I probably should turn that achievement tracker off, but look, we got every single achievement in Minecraft, 103 out of 103, even if the game says 102, and it took us only 2,926 hours, so pretty good progress there. In case you're curious, this 2,926 hours includes like other worlds, includes servers, includes creative worlds and stuff, but it doesn't include time from Xbox One, so it's a kind of tricky number to measure, but it's something close to that, I would say. And these were all of the achievements, just in case you don't know all of them. Obviously, you're not going to scroll through and see all of them right now, but there's a lot of achievements in Minecraft, some of which are easy, some of which it's hard not to unlock when playing survival, some of which are really niche and weird, but we have now officially, over the course of the last 2 years since Bedrock came out, officially we've done them all, which is wonderful. I mean, I think it's wonderful. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but either way, I'm the Master Trader, and we could end the video here and be like, yep, that's how you get this achievement. We've learned some things, you know, we've learned the best villagers are definitely cartographers if you have a lot of sugarcane. If you have a lot of melons, then I think the best value trade, the best trade just in general. So I'm going to take my beacon, which is currently resting over here. In case you're curious, it's because I'm mining a lot of obsidian because these towers, it's a whole weird thing. I mine obsidian on streams sometimes. They're the most boring streams, and maybe the best streams. No, they're just the most boring streams. But yeah, basically, we're going to take that beacon from there, which I hope we picked up, actually. We're going to take the beacon, and we're going to show you what the baller beacon looks like, because honestly, I think arguably this is competing with diamonds for the most baller beacon in Minecraft. Look at this. This is my achievement personified in one big build, and I kind of like it that way. Again, you know, you could argue, like, does it look the best? I think so now, just because I put so much work into it, but I love the fact that it personifies a huge achievement, and that's the great thing about achievements. Whether it's in Minecraft or whether it's in real life, when you achieve something that you know took some time and that you know not many people do or that is very hard to do, it feels good regardless of the justification or whatever else, and that's something that maybe you could take away from this video. Getting achievements, you know, one of the reasons I love achievements on, you know, the Xbox Live system, one of the reasons I love the concept of achievements in any game is because they do reward you for these grand big things, and yeah, I wish more things in life had achievements, and maybe